3D Cinderella Carriage Ring Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everyone! In today's video I am going to be showing you a really pretty, actually pretty easy Cinderella ring that is made out of acrylic and wire and rhinestones. So the base of this is all done in wire, so there's the little wire vines for the little curly cues for the wheels of the carriage, and then it's rhinestones. It actually is a very quick thing to make, so it's a fun little project to do. I hope you guys like it, and don't forget to click subscribe, see all my future videos as well.
So to begin with, I'm going to be wrapping a nail form backing or any kind of sticker paper around a ring sizer that has like the little defined ring sizing, like the little levels on it. I know some of them are just like a smooth, they're different, but this one works really, really well. And if you don't have one of these and you want to start making acrylic jewelry, I would highly recommend buying one. I think they're like $10 or $15, and usually you can get a coupon for that. So they're definitely a worthwhile purchase if you are planning on making rings. Otherwise, then after you have that on there, take a piece of relatively fine wire and jewelry wire, and then wrap that around where you want your ring to be. Give it a couple good twists with a pair of pliers, and then slide that off. Actually, just bend them up and then slide that off your ring sizer. So off the nail form backing too. And then just kind of bend it and twist it and cut off the extra and make sure that it is nice and tight and it's going to be laying flat and smooth. And then re-slide it up the ring sizer. It's a lot easier to get the little wires to be laying flat and trimmed off when it's not on there. So just do that. You can use, I like to use the hinge of my pliers to press down and get the wire as flat as I can. So I did that too. I just kind of like pressed it against it. It works really well. It's pretty easy. So then with light blue acrylic, I'm going to be creating the little base for the largest rhinestone to be. So I'm going to just set down that little bit of blue acrylic and then grab my really big oval clear rhinestone and set that on. This is for like the pumpkin portion of your carriage. This is the pumpkin. And then kind of just push the acrylic underneath it because it kind of slides out. So just kind of push it up around the bottom of that rhinestone. This rhinestone I have has a pointy bottom, which means that it has a little bit of a depth on the bottom, which looks amazing because I have a lot more facets in them. And they're a lot more, they catch the light more. But you also need to fill in around the bottom of your rhinestone then to make sure that it's not just going to catch on things and pop off. So just fill in any gaps. I'm sorry, I'm kind of off camera there a little bit, but I am still using that blue acrylic and just filling in all the way around that rhinestone. This is really going to hold it in place and make sure that it is not going anywhere. If you aren't using one that has a pointy bottom, you probably don't need to do nearly as much of this blue acrylic part. You might not even really need to do much of any, but you will need to add a little bit so that your rhinestone is at the same level as your wire and it kind of sits on the wire nicely and it's not kind of tipped back, if that makes sense, I hope. So now grab some more of that fine wire, same size, and just kind of create an oval or a circle out of it. So I wrapped it around this is a Sharpie. I'm just going to wrap it around something that I think is similar to the size of my rhinestone, but slightly larger. And I'm just going to take and try to make as close to a perfect circle as I can. Fit that around that. That is too big. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to cut off some more of the wire just from one of the ends, and then just gently bend it. Since my rhinestone is a oval, if your little circle thing is an oval too, that works out just fine, but you do want it to be a little bit more circular than your oval is so it sticks out to the sides. Then glue that in place with just a touch of nail glue right at the base. You want the opening of your circle to be at the base of the little carriage. So now bending two pieces of wire, so to make two of these basically, you want to make little curly cues. So I started by just making my curly cue kind of go down like that, and then I flattened it. I thought that was the best way to do this. Mind you, I don't work with jewelry wire all of that often, and so this process I thought would be really easy, and this gave me a little bit more of a headache than I was anticipating. But just bend your wire into a nice little curly cue the best you can. If you make wire jewelry all the time, you're probably like, oh my goodness, she did this like an idiot. I'm sure I did. Do it however it works out best for you. This, I did think I got the hang of it, but do make a little curly cue for the little vines, and then attach that right under, you want the little end of it to kind of go underneath the rhinestone, and attach that onto your little ring with some of that clear acrylic, and just to use a little bit of clear acrylic in the beginning just to sort of tack it in place, and then go ahead and attach your other one. Like I said, you do need to make two of these on the other side with some more clear acrylic. So just kind of hold it there until it sets. That is not enough clear acrylic to make this sturdy enough and strong enough. That is just enough to hold it in place while you have it, so you've got them on each side. Then add much more acrylic over the top of it, basically making it so that you have an acrylic thickness that is the same as the wire, so it completely fills in your whole little curly cue. And I also, if you were prepared and you had your little rhinestones out, you would set that in the very center of your curly cue right now. I did not have them out yet, so I had to clear away the acrylic right from the center of the wire. just so that I could place, once again, the rhinestones I was using had that pointy bottom on them. So I had to make sure there was no acrylic there so that there'd be a place for the point of the pointy bottom to go. But if you were prepared and you had everything out and laid out in front of you, like you knew what you were doing, then you would have your rhinestone. You can just place it in right away. You wouldn't have to go through and then add more wet acrylic to that area you just cleared away so that your rhinestone would stick. But then if you do it the way I do, add a little bit more clear acrylic to the center of your curlicue right where you just cleared it away, and add a little teeny tiny blue rhinestone. And then also add one of those little blue rhinestones to the very bottom of your carriage to hide that place where the wire opening is. And also looks really nice just to have like a little thing. The Cinderella carriage has a little step stool right there, so you can think of it as that. Apply some gel sealer over the top of all of your acrylic, so that's all of the blue acrylic and all of the clear acrylic around the rhinestones, just to make sure that it looks shiny and finished. Cure that, and you are all done. Like I said, this is actually pretty easy. The most difficult part is making the curlicues out of the wire, but if you are more experienced in that department, you probably have a much better method for me. So I hope you guys like this, and please share any recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!